Well, good morning, everybody. It's hard to believe that it seems like maybe last week I was sitting on my patio just wondering how wonderful it is with the weather. I think it snowed today because I told the kids that I was finally taking down the Christmas lights. Yep, it's my fault, so it's all me. Still gonna do it, though. Yeah. So... I am your music director, John Moody, and today I am joined with Carolyn Keeble and her fancy hat. We have Elizabeth Kelly on piano, and we are excited to welcome back Mr. Ted Hogarth for special music, who will be getting us into the Mardi Gras spirit a little bit. So, if you are ready and able, please stand as we start off our congregational selections.
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go, and this is what you have to say. I release and I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my
hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. Down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Trouble, it might drag you down. You get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. Make this place your home. Ooh, 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 settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Trouble, it might drag you down. You get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone.
Welcome to Unity of Kalamazoo, where spirituality is practical, love is inclusive, and transformation is real. This is a community of people who want to live with deeper meaning, greater compassion, and a faith that works in everyday life. We gather to deepen our relationship with God as we understand God, to pray, to support one another, and to become a healing presence in the world. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey, you belong here. Let's take this moment to pause, to breathe, to arrive, and open ourselves to something good. Good morning. My name is Beth Odekirk, and I am so glad we get to be together today. We offer our thanks and gratitude to everyone who has made this service possible today. This is a community effort, and your contributions are appreciated and valued. If you haven't already done so, please invite your phone into the silence so we can be fully present to each other during our time together this morning. Tina, where are you? I know you were checking the score of that hockey game, so do not have that on right now because you will out yourself when you scream in celebration or outrage, okay? Turn it off. We'll find out later. USA and Canada, baby. Men, gold medal, gold medal. All right, I'm very present, can you tell? I'm very present to what we're doing today. If you are joining us for the first time, we trust this will be a memorable day for you. If you care to, please fill out our visitor's card in the pew pocket in front of you and leave that with an usher at the welcome desk on your way out. That way we can connect with you and share details of our weekly activities here and in the community. Now, let's get ourselves grounded in the message of today's daily word for Sunday, February 22nd. The word for the daily word is release. I release old beliefs as I grow and evolve. So many things shaped my beliefs over the years. My upbringing, family history, education, friendships, and spiritual life, to name a few. As I go through life, I will have new experiences and meet all kinds of people. I may find old beliefs that once fit me well, fit me no longer. Growing and deepening in spiritual understanding may mean releasing ways of thinking that no longer serve me. But I can do that and still honor the person I was, my background, and my history. Releasing makes room in my mind and opens my heart for the person I am becoming. Releasing my old beliefs
readies me for a future of growth and evolution. Now look, I have just released you today from the fetters on your hands. See, the whole land is before you. Go wherever you think it good and right to go. Jeremiah 40, verse 4. Now let's say good morning to Ted Hogarth, who's blessing us with his gifts today.
Oh, yes, we're asking the musical question, do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? I kind of do. And good morning. My name is John McLean, and it's the privilege of my life that I get to carry the banner of a message that sets people free. And it is a privilege also to get to be with you on Sunday morning, for there truly is nowhere else I would rather be than at Unity of Kalamazoo. I was looking at the camera just then. So invite you people who are watching on the camera to join us at Unity of Kalamazoo. By way of announcements, we have some beautiful flowers here today, which the Hong family left for us to enjoy. They were from Dr. Yatlam Hong's memorial yesterday, and if you were here, it was a very special and meaningful day. And what I didn't say yesterday, because I wanted to say it to the folks in the church here, is that one of the things that I adopted as a practice, and I didn't do this until I became a minister, but whatever someone was truly devoted to, the way I honor their memory is by demonstrating what they were devoted to somehow. So when I heard that Yatlam had passed, the first thing I did was I stopped thinking about getting tickets to the Gilmore Piano Festival, and I bought tickets to 2 events. And I will do that for as long as I am here, for my own enjoyment and edification, but also in tribute to Yatlam Hong, who's such an important person here in this ministry. We are having a new member class. Even if you are not new here and want to become a member, I'm inviting everybody to join us because it'll be a very collegial, hopefully fun and informative. I will be teaching out of Eric Butterworth's book, Unity, A Quest for Truth. We have a few copies in the bookstore. It is one of the few, there are only like 5 books that I recommend people own. Because as it says in the Bible, to the making of books is a weary to the soul, you know? So you can only have so many that you're really devoted to, and that is one I'm devoted to. And he introduced me to Unity, and I teach according to the principles I learned from Eric Butterworth. This Saturday at 10 a.m., if you have not signed up, I need you to sign up today at the welcome desk so I will know how many donuts to buy at Sweetwater Mill. And if you have a request for a donut, write that down as well, because I don't want to be overwhelmed or disappoint anybody. So I will see many of you at 10 a.m. on Saturday. I'll also see many of you at Jack's at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night, yes, for community dinner, Unity in the Community. If you are not reading your weekly news, which comes out on Friday morning, please do. I know that many of us become blind to these things, and we either scroll or don't scroll, but I'm mixing it up, and there is timely information every single week, and it's not going to be there forever. So I really would invite you to get in the habit of looking at it and scrolling to the bottom each week. It's not overloaded with debris. It's very, my effort is to lighten the load. And also, we have a Facebook page that nobody in this church looks at, because evidently there are weeks and months that go by with 0 likes or checks in. So I want to invite you to do that as well, because we will be having information. That's another way that we can get information to you. And if anybody happened to look at the Facebook page this week, like Jill Dunham maybe looked at our Facebook page, did she? Yeah. Yeah, okay. And we will be having clips of the service. Very brief, only 90 seconds, but they will be on the Facebook page every week. And that is a way for you to effortlessly make sure your friends know what's going on at your church, because you can share that and they can get a 30-second message. So it's a minimally invasive. I just had a root canal on Monday, so I'm having issues. That was not minimally invasive. Highly invasive, but minimally invasive recruiting. And what else can I tell you? The only other thing that I really need you to know today is that yesterday was Dorothy Kemp's 90th birthday. And I was going to say Dorothy's 125 and doesn't she look great? But I don't know you well enough to kid like that. But Dorothy, would you stand so we can specially, when you get to be 90 and you're here and you can stand up, we're singing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dorothy.
Happy birthday to you. Fantastic. Would our ushers come forward, please? As you are so inclined to do. And this is time for us to engage in our gratitude practice. And I do see John and David and Tina, and the lights are in my eyes, so I can't see who else that is. That is Sherry. Great. Coming forward, and let us affirm our gratitude affirmation together. Yes, I choose to give easily and joyfully, for God is my source, and gratefulness is my nature. And let's all sing together. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to Thee, an expression of
your unfolding peace.
show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to Thee, an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to Thee, an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to Thee, an expression of your unfolding love. Let's welcome Ted back to the platform, shall we?
Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study that war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study that war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more, ain't gonna study war no more. You know I study war no more.
Wow. Carolyn Keeble. My goodness. Good morning. Again. Even though we are past Lincoln's birthday and President's Day, I still wanted to give a shout out to Abraham Lincoln. When I came into New Thought, he was still quoted quite a bit. We don't hear it much anymore in the context of a platform, and I know that makes me sound like I'm 125 years old. But there have been big changes in the world, and Abraham Lincoln had an awful lot to teach us and to share. He was a remarkable human being. He was born in 1809. You know, we think of Abraham Lincoln, Civil War, 1865. But he was born in 1809, which is before the War of 1812, before this was actually a really established country. Born in the frontier in Kentucky. If you have never seen the Abraham Lincoln birthplace near Elizabethtown, Kentucky, has anybody ever been there? I have been. It is a truly unique national monument, and it is the most shockingly touching thing you've ever seen. I will not spoil it for you. It is absolutely worth the drive to northern Kentucky, simply to see that. He was president between 1861 and 65. He was a mere 56 years old when he was killed. That sounds pretty young, doesn't it? Yeah. His mom died when he was 9, and yet she was so influential in his life, he repeatedly said, "All that I am or ever hope to be, I owe to my angel mother." And one of the reasons is because she demanded that he learn to read. He was an Illinois state representative. He was a one-term congressman in Washington, D.C., only for one term. And yet he was elected president of the United States when he was 50. We all remember the Lincoln-Douglas debates, and we kind of assumed that was about running for president, and it was not. It was about running for senator from Illinois, which he lost but it made him famous. And one of the reasons was because of local newspapers, the telegraph, and the railroad were fully functional at that time. So he had a reputation. He was the first presidential candidate and first elected Republican in this country. When the Republicans broke off from the Whig Party because they unequivocally demanded that the phrase, all men are created equal, was American scripture, and there were no exceptions to it. They were unabashedly anti-slavery. In the election of 1860, which I have to say I never knew or I had forgotten, there were 4 candidates, 4 very credible candidates, and he happened to win because most of the population was in the Northeast at that point. Things like most of what we know to be the Midwest and the Far West, and specifically the Northwest, did not exist as states. They did not vote. You know, New Mexico, where I just moved from, didn't become a state until 1912. I mean, this church is older than the state of New Mexico, practically, right? I mean, amazing to think about these things in retrospect. What I heard when I was new to New Thought, what was routinely preached at that time, were these words from Lincoln, which are, folks are usually about as happy as they make up their minds to be. I heard that endlessly in the 1980s. Endlessly. And that's part of our teaching. That's part of our New Thought world view. He said, when I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That is my religion. He was extremely literate as regards to the Bible, but he was not a practicing anything. He did not go to church. On occasion, he went to a church when he was president in Washington, D.C. But he was not a deist, nor did he identify with any denomination. He also said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. I mean, is that a basic unity teaching? Of course it is. The only way to predict the future is to start working on it today, right now. He said, whatever you are, be a good one. Whatever you are, be a good one. Which my dad used to say, but he certainly did not mean it. He would say, I don't care if you're a garbage collector, as long as you're the best garbage collector in the world. He didn't mean that at all. But it was the right thing to say. It was the right thing to say. And of course, my favorite Abraham Lincoln quote is, you can fool some of the people all of the time, you can fool all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool together all the people all the time. Thank goodness. Presciently, he said, America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. Breathe. And assume responsibility for that. Right? Right. Do you know the Lincoln Portrait by Aaron Copland? You know that piece? Our musicians know that piece of music. Anybody else know it? If you have Spotify, or even you can go on YouTube and listen to it, Lincoln Portrait by Aaron Copland. I think it's about a 12-minute piece of music that has narration along with it. It's really deep and profoundly moving. And one of the things that is quoted in it, it's music. Did I say music and narration? There's some spoken parts of it as well. It says, the dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty. We must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so must we think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country. Which, coincidentally, mirrors the daily word today. I have to say, I was astonished to see this. When Beth read, releasing my old beliefs readies me for a future of growth and evolution. The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion. So our case is new, we must think anew and act anew. He goes on to say, it is not can any of us imagine better, but can any of us do better? My reflection on that, which is what our practice is based on here, is imagining better and doing better. Because what we have learned, what we know, what we teach, how we seek to live and inspire each other is by doing differently, having a new thought, air quotes, about what is going on here. How can I imagine something better? How can I be first cause to creating that future that I want to see? It is 100% my responsibility to create the future world that I want to see for me, and our spiritual principle asks us to know that if it's life-enhancing for me, I must want it to be life-enhancing for all people everywhere. Because the days of the I got mine, you get yours spirituality is kaput. It was a promise that did not deliver when we all sort of got addicted to unity prosperity teachings and thinking that as long as I can pay my bills, I'm good and I really don't have to care about you. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I think that's why one of the reasons the prosperity teachings didn't really pay off for most people and are disappointed is because we forgot about that spiritual principle involved. That if there's going to be good for me, there must be good everywhere for all people. I cannot reserve it only for myself. What's that expression? In a rising tide, all boats rise, you know? Okay. That's our work here. But what gets us imagining better? What's going to get me going in that direction? Usually, it's pain and disappointment. Because one thing you will hear me say repeatedly also is we never move when we feel, we never move when we see the light. We only move when we feel the heat. I learned that when I lived in the South. And being a humble country preacher, as I am, I thought, yeah, that speaks to the human condition perfectly. It's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Maybe Jesus will do it for me? No. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So the path, the arc that we generally follow is a one for pain. And then the first thing, and I can say in my life, I'm not telling anybody's story but my own. The first thing that happens is we are in pain and we seek the cessation of pain. I just want it to stop hurting so bad. I just want the chaos to be done with, which is an important step, right? But in a funny way, it's like the difference between what we call Eastern medicine and Western medicine. In Western medicine, we seek the help of an allopathic doctor. When we have pain, give me medicine so it'll stop. In Eastern medicine, the focus is on wellness. How do I continue to live in the flow of the vitality principle itself and do all those things and incorporate those ideas, those actions, those foods, those whatevers in my life on a daily basis so I can reliably predict the future of my ongoingness. So the mere cessation of pain isn't really what we want. It's what we want now. It's like during the disco years when we used to say, we think that we want Mr. Right, but we really want Mr. Right now. I may be alone in understanding that, but if you can pick up what I'm laying down, bless your heart. You're laughing, so I know you know too. Oh, and sidebar, one thing I forgot to say about Abraham Lincoln, just in case you were not convinced of how strange I really am, one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time is called Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. I watch it every Easter, and I am renewed with the Spirit over again. My closest friends do not understand my fascination with it, but it explains everything in Abraham Lincoln's life beautifully. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. For you online there, yes, I hope you watch it right after we're concluded here today. Pain, the cessation of pain. And when we create the cessation of pain, we experience a cure, but not a healing. And what we are seeking at depth is not to be cured, which is temporary, but to be healed at depth. We have to take on a lot of responsibility for our own good, which is why most people don't come to a church like ours. In my experience, I wouldn't have known this unless I became a minister, but in my experience over the last however many years it's been, is that most people are so thrilled to know that there's no God that's going to send them to hell that, we're kind of in a pink bubble for 2 years, and they go, wait a minute, I have to do this all myself? And you go, yeah, it's your life. You are responsible for the future of your life, and our philosophy, our worldview affirms, and you have what it takes. And you have what it takes. Even though I deeply love songs like Amazing Grace, grace is consciousness. You have it. You were born with it. Being raised Catholic, we always were understood that, I can't remember the catechism definition, but grace is an outward thing that we have to earn that is then added onto us, like a bartender topping off your drink. That's not the way it works. You already got the grace of consciousness. You're complete. It's not outside yourself. Therefore, you have to be adequate to the demands of your own life. You have to be, or you wouldn't be on this planet at this time. So how do we, as Lincoln would say, predict that future? By creating it. First, we experience pain. Fine. The next phase is we get to the cessation of pain. Great. Next, we are relieved when we have a cure, when the pain stops. And what is the pain? The pain is physical pain. The pain is relationship troubles. The pain is the inconvenience, the profound inconvenience that simply everyday living can demand of us. The pain can be any numbers of things, any kind of conflict. But when it stops hurting, and we can take a breath, then the most important part of it is to then make a demand on my own consciousness and go, okay, what now? From here on out, what now? What are the things that led to this cure, hopefully at depth a healing? What went into this relief that I'm knowing right now? And to be super aware of it. It's one question that I ask people all the time. When they say, how you doing? Great. Has it always been great? No, but I'm having a really great period right now. Great. What were you doing that made it great? What were you thinking right before it got great? What were all the things in your life? And 99 out of 100 times, at least in my life, I say, well, I mean, things were so bad. I really was going to the gym 3 times a week. It was so bad, I really was meditating every day. Things were so bad. I go, oh, maybe you should do that all the time. You don't stop when times get good. We empower ourselves over and over and over and over again. And then make a demand on consciousness. Not make a demand on the habits that got you there, which are all great things, but make a demand on consciousness. And how do you make a demand on consciousness? Thank you for asking. I happen to have an answer for that. You make a demand on consciousness by envisioning, imagining, as Lincoln says, what is the next best thing to happen here or for my ongoing good? What does it look like? And act as if it were so. One of the first generation New Thought writers was a fellow named Neville Goddard, who was an Anglo from Jamaica. And he was very popular in the 20s and 30s and 40s. And he said, the secret of life is sustaining the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you're a note taker, write that down. The secret of life is sustaining the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And this is not about magical thinking. It's knowing that if I need a new house, is housing available in America? Yes, it's expensive, but is it available? Yes, then there's a place for me. There is a place for me. Great. And how does that feel? Good. Carry on. What we tend to do is we tend to go, look at this, it's going up 2% a year. And mortgage rates now, they're up another 2%. And, I'll never get a house. To stop that mind chatter, which constantly undermines our forward progress. The old thing that I learned, it's almost like a Sunday school thing, is you don't plant carrot seeds, and the very, very second you see something green, you don't go pull it up and say, how's it doing? Let it grow. Have we not heard that? We've heard that a billion times, haven't we, in this Unity churches? Let them grow, let it come to fruition, and reap the harvest when it is time. But we rarely do that. We either get discouraged because things don't happen magically, immediately. Manifestation takes time on planet Earth. It takes time on planet Earth. Learn from nature. Let things be. But to carry the carrot metaphor to an absurd conclusion, when you plant carrot seeds and you see green stuff happening, you never once are going to think, well, what is that going to be? Is that going to turn into an onion? Well, what did you plant? Carrot seeds. Okay, it's going to be carrots, right? You don't doubt that, ever. What seeds do you plant? I plant seeds of wellness. And I act and live accordingly. If I plant seeds of wellness, what does that mean? It means I have to give up my 3-way with Ben and Jerry and me. Was that too naughty for Sunday morning? You all right, Dorothy? Okay, Dorothy's laughing, right? It means, no. Yeah, on your birthday, okay, sure. See, we're not really monitoring our own behaviors. And we think, oh, well, this won't hurt. It will in the long run. It will in the long run. I think the thing that is most inspiring to me about Abraham Lincoln is that and there are all kinds of discussions about him, all happening in retrospect and highly informed about whether he really did the Emancipation Proclamation because he was so anti-slavery or because it was an economic thing. There are all kinds of discussions. But what it was a principle thing. It's either all men are created equal or they're not. So let's take the first step in that direction. Still didn't include women. Still didn't include women. But at least take the first step. And at what cost? At great cost. Was it worth it? Arguably, yes. Take these little lessons, even from history, which seems like ancient history. You know, we either have now, or at this point in my life, everything seems like right now or as far off as high school in my personal life. It's like, what was I doing 6 months ago? I don't know. I can tell you what I had for lunch on the first day of high school, but I can't tell you what I had for lunch yesterday. We think of everything as ancient history, but there are profound lessons to be learned. Feel the pain. Stop the pain. Experience the relief of healing, of cure. Dig deep for a healing at the level of soul. Imagine. Can any of us imagine better? Yes, I imagine my life better in this way. And what? Do better when? Now. And then given the past, we forgive. As a way to let it go, we forgive. It was not smart or political, but what Lincoln said in his second inaugural address, and he was killed 5 weeks after that. He was basically a month into his second administration. He said, with malice toward none and charity for all. With malice toward none and charity for all. And with the firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, let's strive to finish the work we're in. Let's strive to finish the work of your life. Not that it's over, but that the battle of this segment might be complete. The struggle of this moment might be complete. So forgive yourself for the mistakes of the past, right? Move on to the vision of the future. And be at peace with yourself, and to the degree that you can, with all people everywhere. And let's take these ideas into meditation. I'll invite you to close your eyes, please.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I'll wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. I
Breathe deep. Be at peace. Know your own wholeness, your own sufficiency. Forgive yourself for the mistakes of the past. And love on yourself just a little bit. And in the spaciousness that's created there, imagine, ask yourself, what's the next right thing for me? What's the next right thing for me? You can imagine it. And I know that you are sufficient to all of your needs. So let's take a moment by supporting each other with an energy of support in the clear imagining of good. A good that's so good for you that it is that tide that lifts all boats everywhere. You can do it. And let's be peaceful for one moment in the silence together now. Breathe deep. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, down in an easy circle. If you want to stretch, do that. Yawn. When we yawn, we take an enormous amount of air, which stimulates the brain and makes us alert and wonderful and happy to be here and to be alive. Well, thank you for being here today. I recognize this as a part of your spiritual practice, and it makes a difference not only in your life, but for this community and the whole world, that you are willing to be the light itself. I know that fellowship happens when we encourage each other on our journey, so reach out to a friend and ask them how they're doing and what they can imagine as being the next best thing for them. And say, I will know that with you. I will know the successful completion of that with you. And again, I will lovingly thank the Hong family and family that came from, well, today from Ann Arbor and from London, England. and from Drake Road. But I will thank you for sharing your beautiful family yesterday in that wonderful service. And thank Dorothy for keeping the faith and fighting the good fight all these years. You can join us upstairs for some cupcakes, which I think her daughter brought. And I will see you again next Sunday morning. So I invite you to stand for the prayer for protection, which we can affirm all together right before we sing the peace song, which is, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And if you feel that you want to grab a hand and sing the peace song, go ahead and do that. And if you don't want to, put your hands over your heart and let us sing.